Emma is 13 years old. She was born with a single ventricle. She went into respiratory distress, and which caused her to go into cardiac arrest. And so she had brain damage, and that's where her cerebral palsy comes in. 2 years ago, Emma was not approved for an electric wheelchair.
In order to justify for insurance companies and payers that this chair is appropriate and medically necessary for a child, you've got to assess and say that yes, they can drive the chair, they can operate it safely, this will provide this option for mobility and independence.
We met Michelle through school. We were at a field trip with our sons, and she said she was had a break from work.
She said, "Where do you work?" And I said, "Hargrove, Engineers, Constructors." And her face lit up, and she said, "My daughter's physical therapist just told me I needed to find an engineering firm to help make a car for my daughter." She began to tell me what an adaptive toy is. For Emma, her goal was an electric wheelchair. So our goal was to take an off-the-shelf toy car and make it emulate an electric wheelchair as much as possible. 10 months after meeting her, we were able to award Emma with her car.
The amount of independence that she got, it was like, she got in her car and said, "See you, Mom," and she just went with it.
They were able to give us, joy for our daughter and independence for our daughter that we probably couldn't do ourselves.
We were able to bring Emma back in after a year of having the car. She immediately knew what to do. She grabbed the joystick and she actually took off and went through a door, went around the tables. She understood how to direct, maneuver, and negotiate.
She just now got approved to get an electric wheelchair. She was able to prove to the therapist that she's able to now have her own electric wheelchair.
While Emma's goal for her was to get qualified for an electric wheelchair, there are so many other things that learning how to control your own movement can empower you to do. While you're learning how to control your movement and move through space and all those things, there's another part of your brain that's tied to communication, verbal skills, as well as social development. And so as you learn how to move those, your vocabulary starts kicking off and your social skills start developing. You get more and more empowered to do those things.
It was awesome. I could finally have a sister that could play with me outside, and she talks more often, and sometimes she's a bit shy, like right now.
To hear the words, "I love you, Mommy," or, you long for that because that's your child. Emma never has said, "I love you, Mommy." And just within the past 2 years with her having this car, she said, "I love you, Mommy." She's gained so much independence from the car that her vocabulary has increased, and it's things like that say, "Oh my gosh, she just said I love you," or a cuss word, so you're like, she's a typical 13-year-old.